Einstein was never an anti-realist about physics. When he studied Brownian motion and showed that a small suspended object in a fluid would move around irregularly as if bombarded by a constant and fluctuating number of molecules, well, that was taking the existence of molecules seriously. They had physical effects, they had impacts, they could be added up, and they showed you something about the world that couldn't be understood from the idea that water was simply a pure continuum. Einstein, even in the years 1902 to 1905, developed an estimation of the size of molecules. These were real physical things for him. In fact, as Friedrich Adler reported to his father in a moment we discussed 2 lectures ago, Einstein was not so much a Machian in Adler's view, and Adler was a Machian. Einstein, Adler told his father, was a Boltzmannian and one of the best. Boltzmann was the guy who really brought the idea that liquids and gases were just real movements of real molecules, and that was what was crucial for Einstein. But thinking about these issues of realism and a sense-based positivism were crucial for Einstein. He always thought, and he always advised others, that philosophy had been crucial for him, for Einstein. And indeed, Einstein thought a certain degree of epistemological inquiry, of asking what's the ground of our knowledge, was necessary for physics to advance in its most fundamental moments. Einstein took a critical stance towards the absolute, the metaphysical, knowledge beyond the senses, understanding more and more through his reading in philosophy that conventions and rules were chosen to help us order the world. We had to make choices, and those free choices designed to make our representation of the world as simple and perspicuous as possible were a part of what physics was and should aspire to be. This stance, when applied to light, bore enormous fruit. It bore special relativity. So positivism, this idea of a dominance, the crucial importance of a sense-derived knowledge rather than idle speculation, was crucial for Einstein. Einstein believed that sense-based knowledge would be pitted against metaphysics, and ideas like true absolute in mathematical time and space would have to be put aside. But sometimes, and this would be a mistake, people think that positivism is the enemy of realism. For Einstein, he combined a positivist critique of what he considered to be metaphysical notions like absolute space-time simultaneity with a realistic view about the existence of things like atoms and molecules. As a young man, Einstein was a realist, following in the footsteps of Boltzmann, who took atoms and molecules very seriously as physical objects. And he combined them with the critical positivism of Mach, who believed that we always had to put the litmus test to our knowledge and ask, are there notions here that have no contact with possible experience? Over time, Einstein's views in philosophy and physics did evolve, especially as he went from the special theory of relativity towards the general theory. Not because he suddenly became a realist and wasn't one before. He always had that realist component. But what became more and more pronounced was Einstein's view that mathematics, an understanding of the curvature of space and time, had a reality that couldn't be explained simply by the things that we happen to observe. If we look at the now, even in special relativity, it's a kind of illusion, because for every different observer, there's a different now. In general relativity, this becomes even more intense as Einstein came to vest a greater and greater importance in the elementary distortions of space-time, the curvature that shaped the universe.